Hello everyone, welcome back, and let's continue. So if I recall correctly, the last time we'd basically finished the puzzle, gone for a bit of a walk around, and then picked up the puzzle piece. So we've got at least one more main area, well according to the map anyway, to finish off. And there was possibly a few bits and pieces to go over in the waterway area that we just were in, but only because I believe one of the puzzles wasn't operating correctly. So what I might go and do is check that out very quickly and see if the reset, or the reload I should say, has made it work this time around. And if it has, great. If not, we've got some other areas to look at anyway, so it's not too bad. So I do appreciate the handy teleport back, but I think this kind of walkway area constantly going out all the time could possibly be sped up somewhat, but never mind. At least we've got a sprint function. And I was curious about... we could probably use a refill. I was curious about the doors and whether we'd actually managed to get all the... Oh, okay, that's a slightly larger reservoir there then. So I was curious about the doors and whether we'd actually managed to do them all. So this one is clearly open, and that should be here, and takes us out that way, which I think is the first one we went through, so that's fine. We've got this one over here, which is the icon we just picked up, so we'll come back and do that in a second. Oh, this is blocked off entirely, so you can't actually go out this way if you wanted to. Interesting. Did I see that the first time round? Okay. So this one we've also done, which is going to be this one, and takes us out here. Was that slightly further up the hill? Okay. And then I don't recall doing this one. So where's that gonna... that was the... right, so we came on the other end of that basically, and we couldn't open it from one side, but we might be able to open it now. Looks like it's already activated, so we just have to use the correct pattern. Yep. Okay, so it's still going to do a teleport. We're still going to have to load up a particular area. But at least it doesn't take us too far out of the way. And I'm wondering if we can go back that way. I might try that. This isn't quite where I thought it was going to take us out. At least the other side of the door that I was looking at was distinctly underground, if I recall correctly. That's what the shards are all about. Oh, we're missing quite a few actually. Yeah, there's at least yeah, there's at least, you know, a good 10 or so by the looks of it that we're still missing. So is that... that could be this area then, by the looks of it. So we can't go through that doorway yet, so we have to find... excuse me. We have to find a good number of shards still. I wonder... there might be some more over here possibly. But that's probably the only place I can think of. We have been getting shards for doing these sort of mini puzzles, as it were, but they've pretty much run dry so far. And unless there are some puzzles for doing these forges which we've been missing, then I can't think where the rest of them would come from. But we'll have a wander around and do what we've got to do over here anyway, and then we'll carry on. So yeah, if we go and do this, then that's handy for calming down this area at least. But I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, it doesn't actually give us anything sort of concrete. It's just useful, basically. So we can do that, we can refill, all that good stuff. Yep. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there are no shards attached to this. No, don't seem to be. So that was this one, I believe. And yeah, I think we've definitely done these two as well. And then this one was in the kind of the initial area on the walk around. So that's all of that. I might see if I can find out what these 4 pillars are all about, though. Presumably they're just up the pathways. Oh, missed that. So that's the forge, that's the door, which I think is over there. So the pillars should be up and to the left somewhere. That would be over this way, I think. So up here then, possibly? No, maybe not. Just down from this broken stairway. So here then, by the looks of it, or at least that's what the map was telling me, I think. Ah, yes. Right, do we just light all these up? Do we just light up? Yep, so the standard thing of each pillar is affected by doing something to the adjacent one in a similar manner. So how's this going to work then? If we... Oh, I see, you can't actually turn them off once they're turned on. That could make things somewhat difficult. Well, I guess we pretty much have no choice then. Basically, if we can't actually affect once they're switched on, and the only way we can affect is once they're switched off, we... So I want to do that one, and then, yep. Excellent. So I suspect this was in the beginning before the poor effects came to be known. So that's one more shard for that. We've got one more shard if I can actually get this thing working. And then that certainly seems to be it in this particular area, and we're going to have to go down here and hope there are some more down there. And there might well be if these sort of green triangles are also shards. So we need to be going this direction. And now there was a door as well that we could have a look at, but I think that's possibly just a shortcut. And actually I'm hoping it's the other side of the door that we couldn't open in the first place. That would be handy if it was. Oh, yep, there we go. Yes, that looks decidedly better. So we're back out in the underground passageway. And then we just need to be down here and slightly to the left, I believe. I think it was behind this elevated rocky outcrop with the slightly destroyed building. Ah, that's going to be a problem. Can I... No, the game doesn't let you coming out of water for some reason. So we're going to have to go all the way around, and hopefully there'll be a handy staircase somewhere. That doesn't look like a way out either. Well, this is a tad unfortunate. I hope they've factored this into account and provided some kind of escape in case you blunder into one of these by accident. No, alright, we'll keep going. Can we jump? We can jump here, so we might be able to jump out just about. But possibly an argument for some kind of handy stepping stones or stairs in there somewhere. So this is... yeah, still the same. Still chock full of water. So that moves all the water into the main reservoir in the middle there, but this left-hand one is still full, and it pretty much shouldn't be. And there doesn't seem to be a way of draining it otherwise, apart from moving it round, which doesn't help the situation. And there's no handy way of... no. Well, that is most unfortunate then, because it looks like that's now a permanent feature and there's no way of solving the puzzle, unfortunately. So, well, all I can say is I hope the doorway that's locked behind those shard crystals isn't mandatory, because if it is, we're kind of stuck. But I'm hoping just the main temple is pretty much mandatory, and that's just a handy side piece, which is a bit of a shame because I was hoping to see all of them, but as long as I can get through without worrying about it, that's okay. So we need to go back up to the main doorways and then go through that fourth and final one, which we now have the symbol for. Might have to go, unless there's a way of getting back up, we might have to go all the way around. Can we? Just about. So we can nip through this shortcut door. Oop. and then we can go back through one of the doors we unlocked slightly further up, and that should take us back into the main area. I think it was this way. What's up here then? There's various things, we don't need any more of that. There's various things illuminating, but I think it's all pretty much the same path to the same place, essentially. Yeah. Oh, there is a box though, so I'll go check that out. Oh, I could grab it without even opening the box. Wonderful. Yeah, so I am hoping that maybe we'll have some spare shards. We never know. And then hopefully this is, yeah, accessible in reverse. Oh, it's got some... don't believe it was raining before, so it's got some nice weather effects. And then just through here. So we need this one. So quite the long stretch of... oh. How strange. Well, we want to go beyond, so fine. Why would we not be able to go back into the valley? Well, yeah, I'm guessing we've done pretty much everything we're going to do then, but I'm interested to see what kind of reasoning the game is going to come up with as to why we can't. So this is clearly Cave Dome. Presumably we just made it in time before it rained down on us. I don't quite follow, but okay. So we certainly can't go back that way, and then presumably we're in this kind of area, so once we make it through all of this and pick up our final piece and we get teleported back up to the main temple, I mean theoretically we should still be able to go back that way, so I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. So I think from here we should at least be able to see the cliff side where we were previously. So yeah, that was definitely all the way over there. Now then, so we are presumably somewhere here. So that looks like a boat ride round. So there's possibly no way to get to it over land. Then we have to go by this this boat route. Now, last time there was a boat, I had to duck, and I don't recall what the key for duck is. Is it? It is control. Okay. Yep, I think we're pretty much going in this direction then. And away we go. Ah, it gives me a reminder. That's useful. So we could take one of... oh, I can't open the map anymore. Well, I think we can take one of two paths, so we'll try this one. suppose duck isn't strictly necessary if we can just manoeuvre around the obstacles like that. Now that looks blocked off, so we'll try... Maybe we can fit through these supports? Or maybe we just finish here after all. Game doesn't seem to think so. And I don't think we're going to be able to go through there. So, what are we doing then? Oh, I can just stand up. Well, it's doing a save icon, so I presume we're in the right place and I'm actually supposed to be here rather than finding my way off the beaten track and getting into somewhere I'm not supposed to be. Right, so I'm guessing that's the bridge we're going to wander across in a second, and we're going to walk our way down this way rather than just following the boat all the way around, maybe. Which possibly would have been a nicer way of doing it, but we're here now, so... Oh, no, I guess I was wrong. I think we have to... Ah, wonderful. So, possibly we need to knock down this walkway with these boulders, but the game is not... No, we can't drag them, we have to just kind of hope for the best in the aiming scheme. Nope, that doesn't seem... That one's a bit more... See, I'm kind of wondering if this is the same as the puzzle we had over here with the stepping platforms, where I've come across a possible solution, but the game engine is... I'm not convinced on this one. That one's not moving. That's not moving. I don't think I can jump around here, so that's possibly not the way to go. So I completely missed with the boulders, so not sure if that was the intended solution. Well, one thing we can possibly do is just basically continue swimming our way around. Not as quick as the boat, but it's an option. It doesn't look as if there was a way to get round the top of the cliffside there. This is... well, this is certainly one way to possibly do it, but yeah, so either this is the intended way, or the boulders breaking the bridge was the intended way, but the game engine is just not forgiving enough to get that working. But either way, hopefully we're going to make some kind of progress. Of course, now I'm going to swim all the way down this river and realise that there's no actual way to get out the other side unless you're in the boat. Oh, I can still... interesting. So I can still use my map while I'm swimming. And there's Mr. Spooky Shadow again. Now, presumably, if you're coming up on him in the boat, it's going to be a lot quicker. Maybe he's only reactive to people if they're in the boat? Or he's just, you know, watching from the sidelines as you wander by. Which is fair enough, because quite frankly I'm tired of his nonsense, so there we go. Now, is it? No, I can't seem to get out. Whoops. Can't seem to get out there. So I guess we're stuck with carrying on then. And this is presumably the sort of larger lake that's on the map, and then we have to make our way to the pier side. Which, again, would be substantially quicker in the boat, but we're here now, so... I just hope there's nothing lurking underneath that's going to gobble us up. Now, we might be able to get back onto land over that way. It certainly looks reasonably shallow. But I think the intended destination is the one that's sort of blatantly lit up with the torch. Right, this is not... So, invisible wall, glitchy terrain, I'm guessing this is not where you're supposed to be at all. No. Right, so we can proceed slightly quicker this way. But still no easy access to the interior of this this peninsula. Let's try this way around, shall we? Okay, so icons on the bottom indicate we've got some more bits and pieces to presumably pick up somewhere around here. So yeah, I'm guessing this was the intended destination, and when you get here you have to choose... Well, let's keep going in the direction of the flame, shall we? I'm not quite sure what the eternally burning tree stump is all about, but there we go. Presumably we've had some other people pitch up at some point, or that was just a boat that's now a ruined boat. Right, so this pier pretty much runs the entire length, and we're presumably sort of about here, so there is certainly a central walkway which we can use to get into this swamp area here. But now we're at the far end, there doesn't seem to be a reason why we can't wander off the track and just have a quick look around. And then presumably there are... So there's definitely 5, but our icons at the bottom indicate 4, so maybe there's just 1 spare. Right, so having the torch burning precludes the darkness from coming in, so it's kind of a sanctuary, as it were. If we take it out, well, it doesn't seem to care so far, but we have picked up 1 of 4, so we'll keep it for the time being. Nothing particularly bad seems to be happening at the moment. Well, of course, now here he is. If we put it back in again... Okay, he gets repelled. Now, is this going to happen a lot, I wonder? Right, so basically he's respawned back there. So we got temporarily frozen in place by the looks of it, but he doesn't seem to have done too much damage. So, okay, I guess we'll just take the hit and carry on then. So yeah, similar to what we saw before, the beacons seem to basically keep the shadow at bay. But unfortunately, if we presumably need them for some purpose, we're going to have to go around picking them up, and that's going to disrupt whatever beneficial properties they have at the time. So I think that was that one. So we've got 3 other ones in this area we can collect, plus we've got a forge over there we can go and have a look at. And yeah, so far this just basically looks like ruined swamp village, so I'm not in any great hurry to just go wandering off exploring. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot to experience. But there is some useful bits and pieces to have a look at. So that's 2. I think we need to be going in this general direction then. If I just ignore it, it just sort of basically takes the hint and goes away. Oh, maybe he does. I don't know if you've... Alright, so you have to hurry and do this quickly then. Yeah, there we go. So if you ever played the game Soma, this guy kind of reminds me of some of the enemies wandering around there, in which they're basically a bit of a nuisance once you figure out that they're not quite so scary and how to deal with them. And all they do is prevent you from actually getting on with the thing you'd like to do, which is exploring the world and doing some puzzles. So yeah, just a bit of annoyance in the end. So yeah, pretty much what we've come to expect, unfortunately. But we can definitely take that one. And then there's probably one more on the inside over there, and then we can head up towards whatever the path looks like that's carrying on straight ahead. Should be visible. Should be able to see the blue glow from this distance. Is it over there? Yep, there we go. Right, so that's our 4. I'm not entirely sure what they're for, but game seems to want us to pick them up, so we shall oblige. And then this is, I think, the central walkway, as indicated, so we'll head in that direction then. And this seems definitely, this is basically kind of a restocking point, so if you're low on health and you're low on juice and you need to refill for the final confrontation, this seems vaguely reminiscent. And some guy is trying to keep this presumably annoyed spirit at bay with a bow and arrow and his protective lanterns. Now I'm wondering if we therefore have to do the same kind of thing with these. Possibly if we go too far we get damaged, and that's what all the excess health behind us. Oh, okay, we need battery refills, so we'll go and get those as well then. I'm wondering if we can just basically sprint towards the end, but we'll do it in a slow and steady way. Alright, good stuff. Well, game decides where we're supposed to be, certainly. So we definitely can't go back that way, so it's closed off the door behind us. But if the loading screen was anything to go by, this is the kind of the mass plantations where they were growing all these herbs and other bits and pieces in. Yep, the music's definitely taken a turn for the worse, as has the situation. So where did they end up then? They basically all kind of fled by boat. Well, I guess they're not very welcome then. Presumably the people don't want to be contaminated with the plague they've brought with them. So it seems then that if you build high enough, you can't be reached by the black tendrils. So perhaps basically we've been sort of following this in reverse. Then we've come out in the sort of the sanctuary at the very beginning through the last ditch effort to survive this in the tree village, and then we're at the epicenter of it at the moment then. But this looks well, reasonably full of life for somewhere that has been fleeing from the plague. So that rotates. Some kind of reflection device, I believe. Which activates, and we need to get that beam. Yep, it's telling us that's exactly what it's supposed to do. And we're here. Right, well I think this seems as good a place as any to put a break in. There's a whole raft of this particular area to explore now, so we can certainly do that next time, and I will see you then.